Perfect.
Hey guys,
Hello.
what is
Hello.
going on?
Not much. How about you?
Not much. Yeah, I see you got some floof there.
I do have some floof. You've got some floof as well, so I
I
thought it'd only
do.
be fair.
Yes. We have
Um,
double floof.
Double floof. I'm gonna have to put her back because she should be asleep, but she was awake, so I thought I'd just pull her out. So, a bit of exciting news for her yesterday. She shed. So
Oh, look at
got
that.
a. And when snakes shed, they are so soft. They feel really, really soft and
Oh.
yeah, and smooth and oh, she's so sweet.
Oh.
Oh,
I feel like I have to pull up my doggy cam.
you absolutely have to.
I have to pull up my doggy cam.
Mm-hmm.
There's the doggy cam. There's Neen.
No, floof.
Little floof. Little Nina. So she's the science doggo and we have the science snick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Although, although the science snack should be asleep, but
That's
she's not, so I'm gonna have to
okay.
put her back. Yeah, no, I just wanted to show everybody my freshly peeled snake.
Must be difficult. It doesn't. Well, I mean, you would think peeling a snake would be difficult, but they kind of do it on their own. So,
They do. It's actually kind of rare to catch a snake while peeling.
ah,
So yeah, you need
yeah,
to peel your own snake is a bit odd off. But yeah,
bit,
yeah, it's a bit hard.
bit.
Yeah.
So we got people in the chat tonight. We got
Hello, hello.
Nacha. Nacha's there.
Hey,
How you doing, Nacha? Meredith's hair looks very nice today.
Oh, thank you.
It's so healthy and vibrant. It's almost like you showered or something.
Yeah, showering is good.
When people ask me, they're like, "Your hair looks great." I'm like, "I washed it."
Literally what I do too.
Oh goodness! So we got Nacho, we got Kitty the Atheist, Greyheart Labs, the Old Lady Gamer. What's going on, Jove? How you doing? Greyheart Labs asked a question: what prompted this discussion? Wouldn't everyone know that these pills are bogus? Well, they're not always. They're not
Um,
always.
what triggered this discussion is that I am currently going through a lot of pain from an old injury. So I was taking some magnesium tablets. I have anemia as well. I'm very, very prone to getting anemia. So you know, I was thinking and discussed this with Mel earlier, is sort of like, is it sometimes when things like magnesium tablets, are they good to take, or am I literally just wasting my time and my money? Because it's very, very hard to get good information and good scientific information in regards to supplements. So so that was one of the things that I wanted to talk about.
Awesome. So I'm going to put a link to an article I found in the side chat here. You can find some things on magnesium and the central nervous system. So let me pull up what I got here. I have like 9,000 tabs, but let me see if I can find the right one. Here we go. All right. So this is from NCBI. It's a division of NIH. You can go on PubMed or any of those, and you can kind of Google a particular topic and search on NCBI or essentially PubMed. You type in PubMed.org or .gov, PubMed.gov, and then you can search any particular topic. And so this is something that's discussed and something that's used in science, particularly with magnesium. And it looks like they cover a bit of NMDA receptors. And so they look at the reactions between NMDA receptors and the induction and maintenance of the central sensitization. God. Of nociceptive stimuli. Okay, so they go through and they talk about ketamine and magnesium are representative NMDA receptor antagonists, and in particular, magnesium can regulate calcium into cells by antagonizing that particular receptor. If you're not familiar with receptors, they're on the outsides of your cells, and often different types of cells have different receptors, but some receptors are all over the body, all over the cells, all over the body. For instance, the ACE receptor, I believe, is the one that COVID-19 attaches to and allows access into the cells. Those happen to be highly expressed in lots of cells in your body. So it looks like magnesium actually has a mechanism that allows it to have an analgesic type of thing. So that means it doesn't have a direct analgesic effect, but it inhibits calcium ions from entering the cells by blocking those receptors, which causes that anti-nociceptive effect. So, and this is related to prevention of central sensitization. So basically, you don't feel as much stuff.
And also, magnesium is used in the relaxing of like your myo cells, like your muscle cells. So when you move, when the cell contracts, it uses a calcium ion, and when it relaxes, it uses a magnesium ion to relax. Which is why people often say if you start cramping, that's because you are low in magnesium. So yeah, so if you so that's why some people say that, because of that, the fact that your muscles require magnesium to release the mechanical stuff.
Right, right.
So, long story short, you need it uses magnesium to relax, and
Right.
magnesium is actually really, really important
Mm.
in the function of your body, as you mentioned, with your pain relief and things
Mm.
like that. So yeah.
So, yes. And um, so there is a lot of science available for it. And it's, magnesium isn't something, unless you just chug back an entire bottle or something. Too much of a thing can be a, good thing, can be a bad thing. And so I've got a couple of things I thought I could pull up. And also, I thought it might be fun to look at some vintage dietary supplement commercials.
That would be interesting.
I thought that might be fun. And I can pull that up here in a bit. And I also want to rip Goop a new one again because I hate them.
Fair enough. I will happily rip Goop a new one. That sounds really, really sexual.
Not
It's gonna
really.
rip. No, actually, not really.
Yeah,
But
if you remember, have you ever seen Heathers? The
no,
film is from the 80s. It has Christian Slater and Winona Ryder in it, and it's a very gothic high school type
it
of film.
sounds familiar. It does sound familiar.
Right. So kind of think of Mean Girls, except where the school ends up getting blown up in the end, and so like, a bit more gothic, dark humor kind of thing. A little bit dark, but it's really great. There was a saying, I was like, well, fuck you up the ass with a chainsaw sideways. Oh my God. You can fuck yourself up
That's a
the
good
ass with
one.
a chainsaw sideways. Something like that.
I use cacti actually.
Ah, cacti. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Cacti.
because chainsaws are painful, but if they're not on, it'll just move a little bit. But cacti, you have no choice. It's going to be there.
And that's a slow pain.
Mm.
That's a slow
Usually,
pain.
usually you should dip it in chili as well.
Oh, get you some of that ghost pepper
Hmm.
or the reaper pepper oil and put some of
Yeah,
that on there.
yeah. I also say maybe you should uh, go and like normally I say this to men, but they should go and masturbate using crunchy peanut butter as lube.
You know, I have a funny story. I don't know if I should tell it. It's grossly inappropriate and
Since when have we been appropriate here?
okay, cheeky thing. Don't try this at home, guys. Don't try this unless Nacha. Try this on Nacha sometime and let him
Okay,
wake
I
up to
will
this. This will be
definitely.
funny. So I had a partner once. So there's the little topical analgesic. Since we're talking about analgesics that you can put anytime you have like like one of those canker sores, or if your tooth hurts, you can rub a little bit of this on, or if you split your lip, and it numbs it. I had a partner once that I put that right in the tip.
Ew.
It made it numb. I did ask if I could do it. I did get consent.
Yeah.
I was like,
And what
cons-
was the results?
whole penis went numb. Freaked him out. Squirted it in the top. Couldn't feel a thing.
Don't worry,
Nacha.
I'm not going to do that unless you want me to.
Yeah,
Unless you want
get
to know what.
consent first. Don't just go
Yeah,
around squirting analgesics in people's penises, or because
yeah,
I
might
mean
not be a good idea.
that's. But yeah, I did that once with yeah, but I did get consent.
Yeah, no, make sure you get consent.
Mike Taylor on Facebook, how you doing? Old lady gamer, do tell. Well, yeah, I did. So I told him myself. I've done weird things, guys. And I'm actually kind of proud of that because it's a question that's answered, and nobody else has to do it now.
Hmm.
totally goes numb. And now watch people at home. Scientist Mel says it goes numb if I do this. I got to try it. Y'all don't.
Let's try.
I mean, it does wear off. It's not permanent. It does wear off, but it feels weird. Walking around. And there's just, you can't. Yeah, anyway. So, all right.
Hey, giant butthole's here as well. Hello, giant butthole.
Oh, giant butthole. Oh, goodness. Titan Uranus. He's not just a giant butthole. He's a very, very tight one.
Yeah.
You like call him a tight ass, I think is what we call that.
Possibly.
He must be very cheap. Are you cheap, Titan? Oh my god. Okay. So, do you know how? Okay, since we're talking about supplements, do you know how the FDA actually regulates supplements? I saw Sinister Porpoise is there too. Hey, Sinister, what's up? I saw you, and you'd mentioned the FDA. Sinister had the FDA regulates supplements badly. Do you know how the process of how they do that, Nervardia?
They don't.
Not really.
No.
That
I know it's sort of one of those things where they're like, if we can't get this particular supplement passed by the FDA, we
Right.
just say it's a supplement. So if we can't pass this drug through the FDA, we'll just use it as a supplement. And they
Right.
don't have a lot of power to change it. Because that's what they did not that long ago. Oh, I can't remember the name. It's like a plant that's like extremely toxic. What was it? I can't remember the name.
Are you talking about belladonna?
No, hang on.
Okay.
We're talking about it with. I'll see if I can try and find the name of the thing.
Okay. Well, I'll talk a bit about the FDA then while you're looking it up. So I've covered this a little bit before on my other channel. Well, not my other channel. I only have one. On my other show, I've covered this before, and so I've talked a bit about pseudoscience. And you can check out.
Oleandra.
Oh, Oleander.
Yeah, Oleandra. Yes.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry. Continue on.
Oh, it's okay. It's all right. So Christy Santiago's in the chat. How you doing?
Hey.
So you can go on FDA.gov, and they have very good, easy to read information associated with how they regulate supplements and that sort of thing. For FDA for drugs and medical devices. Now, if it's like a medication that you're taking to cure a disease or treat a disease, or a device that's meant to assist you and help you, it's at least a 6-month investigation. All right. It has to be proven to be effective. It has to be proven to be safe, and it cannot be marketed or used otherwise. So you can't market, for instance, when they were trying to find like a blood pressure pill, that's how they got Viagra. They found out that, Viagra initially I think was meant to be a blood pressure treatment. And have come to find out handles erectile dysfunction. And so in order to market it as an ED drug, they would have to have a 6-month investigation and do all new tests. So one of the things that the U.S. does, and this is where big pharma is a problem, is they'll go and they'll change they'll find that a particular drug is effective on something different than what it's marketed for. Then they'll repackage it, repurpose it, and then put it as a brand new drug. And so all of the generic drugs, even though it's the same formulary, they can't just go and give you this generic drug for a completely different purpose, because that's not allowed. You have to give the drug. So it'll be remarketed as a brand new drug. And so since they can do that, even though same formulary is marketed as something else, they can charge an outrageous amount of money because it's a brand new drug, right? So that's one of the things that is a big issue with pharmaceutical companies. They spend millions and millions of dollars on research, and they try to get that back. And so they find out that a drug can do two things. First, they'll market it for one thing where it can be widely distributed. And then they'll repurpose it and then market it as a brand new drug when it's really the same thing. So it's just that's FDA is pretty strict on that. So like with the COVID vaccine and stuff, they're like, oh, we'll have a vaccine by the end. No, we won't, guys. We won't. The human trials are going on right now. That's the proved to be effective and safe is the human trials. And then the FDA has to do an additional 6-month investigation. And during that time, they can start building up supply if they get certain, go-aheads from the FDA, but they still have to say it is safe. So it's just, but that's the rigors of that. Now, when we look at supplements, FDA will categorize as alt medicine only for supplements. That's alternative medicine. So there's alternative medicine section on how they can categorize stuff. There's supplements, there's devices, there's food, and there's cosmetics. And so that's what the FDA categorizes for that. Now, there have been fraud cases where there have been alternative medicines like Zicam, Hyland's teething tablets, and Ayurvedic products where the FDA has had to do recalls. That's been a real problem. So Zicam, do you know about Zicam?
No, I haven't heard of Zicam before.
Okay. Well, this was supposed to be one of those things to help you with a cold. But the thing is, people lost their sense of smell permanently.
No, that's not good. That is not good at all because losing your sense of smell is also losing your sense of taste.
Yes. So some, they can rush supplements and they don't necessarily have to prove that there's any problems, but the moment that there starts to be a problem, then they pull them from the thing. So Hyland teething tablets, that contained belladonna and it was homeopathic.
Yeah. So homeopathic doesn't work anyway at all, unless, of course, you think that drinking water cures you from every single ailment on the face of the planet. My argument against homeopathy is that if it works, then the entirety of the human race would be sterile because of all of the contraceptions that women use to stop getting pregnant. So, if it works, then everyone would be infertile.
I mean, think of all the water with all the memory of all the things that have been in it before.
I don't want to, frankly, to be honest with you.
That's kind of a gross thought.
Yeah.
So just in April 2017, which was about 3 years ago, the FDA had to pull this because this one contained basically nightshade, which is a poison, and people were giving this to their babies. So,
Did any babies die from that?
No, not that I'm aware of. And then with Ayurveda, the thing about FDA with Ayurveda, it does not evaluate any Ayurvedic products, and they often contain a toxic level of heavy metals. And so their safety, quality, and effectiveness cannot be assured by the FDA. So,
And it's really ironic that a lot of the things that that these alternative medicines get cut with is highly toxic as well. Like, as you were saying, you've got belladonna, people giving belladonna to their babies. There was a story of a woman, of a baby that kept getting sick. I think it was with staphylococcus, and they couldn't quite figure out why this baby was continuing to get sick.
Wow.
And what happened was the mother had her placenta turned into a pill form, and she was taking the pills. She was fine because she had a strong immune system, but the baby, she was breastfeeding, and the baby kept getting getting a bacterial infection because the mother's breast milk was chock-a-block full of this particular bacteria.
Wow.
That, yeah. So
Can you imagine having a titty infection?
yeah, well, it wasn't. It wasn't. She wasn't sick because the infection wasn't. Her immune system was looking after the
Right,
infection.
right. But it's like in her
It was
breast
being,
milk.
yeah, it was in her breast milk, and it was in there because she was taking a her placenta in tablet form. Like this particular company would take the placenta and turn it into a particular would turn it into
A pill,
a pill,
bottle of
and
pills.
yeah, made from your placenta.
Oh my God. You know,
It's pretty gross.
I wonder when people are going to start doing that with their excrement.
They
What?
already have.
Oh God, they're making pills out of their poo?
Yeah, it's for the people who need poo transplants.
Well, that's poo transplants. That's for, to get the bacteria from one to another. And there's, that's a different thing. But actually eating poo pills of their
Yeah,
own
well,
poo, though.
the people who need these poo transplants rather than getting it shoved up the bum, they take it orally.
Why can't they just get the actual, like, see, I take probiotics from time to time. And I can get it not in poo form.
Well, it's not in poo form. It's the bacteria.
Okay, well,
Bacteria
that's
in that.
different. I thought people were
Yeah.
just like, here, I'm going to package up my poo and send it to a company, make pills out of it so I can take it.
Well, people do that actually.
Is there a
There's
company that will take your poo and turn it into pills?
something like that. Yeah, like you can sell your poo. You shit on a shit in a container, and put it, and they'll collect your poo and pay you for it.
What is it? Okay, I don't think I want to know what they do with the poo. I think that's probably a
They
different.
they use your poo to create these tablets for those people who need poo transplants.
Okay. I'm very sorry for the people who need poo transplants that have to take poo tablets. I'm not trying to make fun of you, and so I apologize in advance for that, but that is utterly bizarre to me because you can get the bacteria in different form. I'm
Well,
just saying.
it's quite recent information.
Excuse me, I need a little bit of milk to take my poo tablet. I'll be back in a bit.
It's because a lot of bacteria we can't culture in a lab.
Ah, okay. Well,
Yeah,
that
so
would
something
make
like
sense.
99% of bacteria we cannot grow in a lab. We need to
Ah,
use that's why H. pylori,
ah,
Helicobacter
yeah, yeah.
pylori, took so long to find was because they tried growing it on a petri dish, but the Helicobacter pylori is a very slow growing bacteria. So that's why when the story goes that they just were like, oh, it's the Easter long weekend. So in Australia, we start the Easter long weekend on Friday, and it goes until the Monday. So they have 4 days of just growing this bacteria because they were really convinced that there was a bacteria causing stomach ulcers.
Ah, okay.
So
Yeah.
so they plated on the Thursday,
Mm.
came back on the Tuesday morning, and found these colonies growing, and
Ah,
so that's how they discovered that Helicobacter was causing stomach ulcers. So yeah, it's something like only 99.9 or 99%
mhm.
of bacteria we can grow on a petri dish. So that's probably why they require people to produce poo to pass on their healthy gut flora because
Hmm.
you can't do that in the lab. You can't do it in vats and stuff. You actually have to have it
See,
coming from people.
I think, maybe if I really needed to, I could sell my poo, but the collection of it, I think I would just be like, ooh, the whole time. I'd be like, ooh.
I work in disabilities. I'm used to seeing poo and cleaning poo up. It's fine.
It's fine. See, I actually went to nursing school for a while, got into clinicals. I'm like, nope, nope, whole lot
Yep,
of nope,
yep,
nope,
yep.
no. Not my jam. Do not want to do this ever again. And I
Yeah.
didn't. But, took all the prereqs, got all the way into nursing school, walking around on the floor, was on a neuro floor. I was on a orthopedic floor. Yeah, I was on the neuro floor twice, an orthopedic floor once. Yeah. It was
Just
interesting.
couldn't do the poo. Just couldn't do the poo.
Somebody, I think the mistreatment of nurses really put me off. It really, really put me off. Also, the mistreatment of the student nurses and the LPNs, like the nursing assistants and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't want to turn into this. And so maybe it's different now. But when I was going, I mean, I had somebody said, well, I won't fail you because I just don't like you the way you make the bed. But I'm going to put this note in your record. I'm like, so you don't like the way I made the bed, but you were going to fail me over that. Not anything else. But even the nursing teachers were just, a lot of them were just, oh my God. And then the nurses, when you'd go to work on the floor, they would neglect the patients, like on their shift. And then you would show up and there would be like full catheter bags with chunkies floating in them to where it started to have the sediment, you know, and when you get it out, you can just smell it, and it's just
yeah,
like,
I know that smell.
yeah. So and it was backing up into her line, and I'm like, no.
No.
And then she was distended, and she had broken both of her hips, like the pelvic thing was completely messed up.
Oh,
and then
jeez.
we didn't know why she couldn't pass any, feces. She was completely distended. We didn't know it was gas. So I tried to give her an enema, and I put it in the wrong hole.
Oops.
And she made a joke about that being the most action she'd had in a while. So at least I was like, okay then. Sorry about that. Gonna try again. A little bit lower. Oh my goodness. And we couldn't turn her on the side because she had
Of
broken
her hips.
both of her hips. So she's lying there prone with a backed up catheter bag distended, and I go to give her an enema in the wrong place. So I'm like,
Cool.
yeah, that was my last patient on clinicals. I'm like, peace out.
I'm not doing this. No, I'm going.
No, not my thing. Pocus Focus, how you doing? Has shown up. What's going on? Pocus Focus says, only way I'm boxing up my poop would be to get tested for colon cancer. Well,
Also, H. pylori does cause cancer.
Ah, goodness.
Yes. It's a very, 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 very interesting microbe. Incredibly interesting microbe.
Oh, goodness.
And it's special to my heart because two Australian researchers figured it out, and they won a Nobel Prize for it.
Oh, yay.
And one of them, I can never remember which one, who was able to show that it causes gastric ulcers, because when they finally were able to isolate the microbe, he drank some, and then like a couple of days to a week later, he was diagnosed with a peptic ulcer. Wow. And his wife was pissed because she was pregnant, and and it was just like, she was like, you did what? So she was really not impressed with that. But once she got, he ended up winning the Nobel Prize, him and his co-worker.
Wow.
Yeah, because at the time they thought that peptic ulcers were caused by stress and by cigarette smoking and dietary and lifestyle. And it kind of does, but not really, because 90% of people have H. pylori.
Ah, wow.
So, so for most people, it's fine. But for some people, I don't know if it's the person or the strain of the H. pylori that causes this gastric ulcer.
Man.
So, it's a really interesting story,
Wow,
and it's one of my favorite microbes. Yeah, it's one of my favorite microbes, and it gets cured by one of my favorite elements, which is bismuth, which is
yep.
beautiful. This stuff.
Yep. Bismuth.
I love it. I love bismuth. It's gorgeous.
Very pretty. All right. I was going to come back really quickly to dietary supplements because we've gotten onto the poo train and the placenta train and the H. pylori train. It's interesting.
It is.
You know, so with dietary supplements, so what the FDA did, it used to be that they regulated them, but that changed in 1994.
Why did it change?
Well, the DSHEA passed in 1994, and they decided to make dietary supplements food items. And so food items don't have to undergo any kind of FDA type of approval. If it's something that you can eat, then it's fine. So we can come to Goop here in a minute. They make me pretty nuts. We can talk about Goop in a second. But essentially, so when that particular law passed in 1994, the FDA started to say, okay, well, if it's, treated as food, then, we don't touch that. We just don't investigate it unless there's a problem. But how you label it is exceedingly important. You can't label it to cure or treat a particular disease. That's the only thing that you can't do.
But you can say it may.
It may.
It
might help with this thing.
Which is so different. It's hugely different.
It is. So it can essentially, but eating nutritious foods might reduce your risk of cancer. Exercising might reduce your risk of cancer and diabetes and all of these other things, which is a truth. So if you're saying, well, if you take supplements have the things that are in your food, it might lessen your risk of all of these things. But these statements have not been evaluated by the FDA and are not meant to, treat or cure a particular disease. Talk to your doctor if you all that stuff. Just y'all know the script. So, oh God, bismuth is Pepto. Yeah, Pepto-Bismol.
Yeah.
That's right. Focus. Nervardia. I have a video to share with you once I find it again. Says Kitty the atheist.
Is it? You did mention.
What just happened? I don't know what just happened. I just. Okay. For some reason, I just jumped out and jumped back in again. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Was it me?
No. It's just all of a sudden my computer was like, yeah, we're not interneting right now.
Well, I'm always glad that it's not my fault.
It is not your fault. It is my fault. Apparently, I have made the internet gnomes upset. And they're coming to collect on something.
They do hate you, I've noticed.
They do. They don't like me so much. Okay, so Christy Santiago pasted a YouTube video. And she goes, link above, yes, beautiful Pepto-Bismol crystals. And so Pocus Focus says, the only supplement I have is fiber. Oh my gosh. We talked about that last time, didn't we?
Considering a lot of people are low on fiber, that's not necessarily a bad thing.
No, it's not. We talked, it's weird because last time we talked, we had a talk about the diet fads that Facebook was trying to get me to join. And I mentioned fiber, and I had too much fiber once.
Yeah, that's always an embarrassing story.
Oh, it was so painful. I mean, it was like, I didn't know what was going on. I could hear my stomach making sounds like cannons while I'm trying to teach this laugh. And it's just like, and I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like holding onto the side of the laugh and just going, and I'm having like, oh my God. It felt like worse than menstrual cramps. I'm like, what is this? Am I dying? And so I had to go to the lab next to me because I was teaching a night lab at the time. And I went over there and I'm like, I think I'm dying. I don't know what's wrong, but my stomach hurts so bad. I'm going to go sit in the bathroom for a little bit, see if I can feel better. But I don't know what's happening. And the guy's like, okay. So I was just like, okay, I'm going to go do that. And then I figured out those little fiber gummies, guys, those are brutal. And then we talked about the sugar-free Haribus. Yeah.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah, that was a long time ago. That was a very long time ago.
Yeah, that was like what, 3 weeks ago, I think.
At least
2 or 3 weeks. Man. Oh, I feel like it's still March. Except for the freaking weather. It's March still.
For me, it's warming up. It's been very, very beautiful temperature. Yeah, it's like 25 degrees Celsius.
That's nice.
I don't know what that is in freedom units. So
freedom units. Okay, so 20 to 25 degrees. That's around 70 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's a very nice day.
Yeah, it's very lovely. It's warm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's nice. Oh my goodness. So there was a video that they shared. Let me see.
It's that Nile Red one. Nile Red, the one where he extracts bismuth from Pepto-Bismol.
Okay. Well, let's see if maybe we can take a look at that in a bit. Do you want to watch some vintage
Why not?
commercials? Okay.
Absolutely.
So I thought it might be fun for us to watch a couple of vintage supplement commercials and see. I haven't actually watched these, so these might be funny. And so I thought this might be kind of cool and see what we think. Here we go.
I've tried fad diets, powders, pills. Still my weight's been up and down like a yo-yo until the AIDS plan taught me how to take off weight and help keep it off.
AIDS may take
Tools. Virtual cam. Start. Don't need that. Okay. All right. I am back. Okay.
No.
Sorry about that. Okay.
That's what you get when you have an Australian on.
Yeah.
NASA needs you to keep not coming. Like NASA needs to silence me.
Well, that's what it is. It's all of that. And let me get this fixed that I have here. Let's see. Let me get, where was
I'm just
this
eating
at?
some yogurt.
That's okay. They can probably still see us.
I say, hello everyone.
It's not a Scientist Mel show unless something gets jacked up or weird. So I'm going to move you over here. There we go. Okay, that fixed that.
Hello. Not sure I've stolen some of your yogurt, by the way.
Ah, all right. So sorry about that, guys. We jumped off and now we're back again. I had a really funny video going on and then the world crashed. And
I couldn't see it. I mean, I could see it, but I couldn't hear it. So I know of this particular group of people.
Okay. Well, I'm going to try again. I'm going to share my audio and we're going to fix it. Okay. Let me get my chat back really quickly. Now you guys can see let's see. I'm going to get my chat back. And I'm going to pop this back up. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. Let's go back to watching like this really weird diet video, so.
Sounds good.
Okay. Apologies. Here we go.
I've tried fad diets, powders, pills. Still my weight's been up and down like a yo-yo until the AIDS plan taught me how to take off weight and help keep it off.
AIDS may taste like a candy, but AIDS contains one of the most effective appetite suppressants you can buy.
Oh my God.
That's an unfortunate name, isn't it?
Oh my gosh. AIDS may taste like a candy. Well, I guess depending on how you get it.
Didn't they I've heard of AIDS. Hang on. And they changed their name to something. Oh, that's right, AIDS Slim, which makes it so much better.
You can lose weight with AIDS.
Yeah, no, they so according to their Wikipedia, they decided to this is brilliant. Okay, according to the Wikipedia page, it says by the mid-1980s, public awareness of the disease AIDS brought notoriety to the brand due to the phonetic similarity of the names and the fact that the disease can cause immense weight loss in patients. Initially, sales were not negatively affected. In a September 1985 interview, the president of the company that manufactured it stated that, in fact, sales have increased as a result of this connection. It gets better. Early in 1986, another executive of the manufacturer was quoted, "The product has been around for 45 years. Let the disease change its name."
Yeah, we're just...
Right. In 1988, by which time the product and its name had been sold to the Depp Corporation, company leadership announced the company was seeking a new name because sales had dropped as much as 50% due to publicity about the disease. The name AIDS Slim was tested in Britain during 1988, and then ultimately the name of the product was changed in the United States in approximately 1989 to Diet AIDS.
Don't get full AIDS. Get the diet version.
Diet AIDS. Kills you slower. Advertisement for Diet AIDS could be found in newspapers until at least 1993. The product has since been withdrawn from the market.
Oh my gosh. Let's watch the rest of this commercial. My God. I'm just curious.
Brilliant.
And there's no stimulant in AIDS that could make you nervous.
With AIDS, I ate less, so the weight came off. To help keep it off when I sometimes want things loaded with calories, AIDS helps put me in control.
Was it a type of methamphetamine?
Probably.
Let the AIDS plan teach you how to take off weight and help keep it off. Try peanut butter AIDS.
Candy. And I'm not gay.
Try peanut butter AIDS. Sinister Porpoise says all the immune problems, half the death. For diet AIDS.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Wait, I'm losing weight deliciously with the aid of AIDS. The AIDS diet plan really works.
AIDS candy contains a safe and effective appetite suppressant when used as directed. Helps curb your appetite so you can lose weight. And AIDS candy has no stimulant that can make you nervous.
The plan lets you enjoy 2 AIDS before each meal. Delicious chocolate flavor. And I love being a size 10 again.
Lose weight deliciously with the aid of AIDS.
I was overweight and embarrassed.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Aunt Jo, what the hell did I walk into? I don't know. I'm confused as well.
They used benzocaine to numb the sense of taste. That's what Tony Design says. Huh.
Ah, interesting. Right.
Oh, God. Lose weight with AIDS. I can't get over that.
Crazy.
I mean,
because I know they used to use methamphetamines to as an appetite suppressant.
Yeah,
so,
the Fen-Phen, Phentergan and the other one, Phentergan and oh God, I forgot. It's basically uppers and downers, and you take it and it speeds up your metabolism, but it was actually crystallizing the valves in people's hearts. So
Jesus.
like, it's a bad idea. Elvis died from taking uppers and downers, similar to that.
Wow.
On the toilet. Going back to poo, guys.
It always leads to poo.
Yeah, everything comes down to poo. Do you know that song from Scrubs?
No, I don't.
You got to look that up. Everything comes down to poo from the show Scrubs.
There's a really good quote that I read on the internet, which is, good friends talk about sex, best friends talk about poo.
That's right. Mike Taylor Live says, peanut butter AIDS. Oh my goodness. AIDS, no side effects other than unsightly blemishes, says Vestafreya. This sounds like something that would give you major diarrhea, like Olestra. Yes, Olestra is that oil substitute.
Yeah, that was what I was talking about just earlier.
I thought it was oleander, but you said it was Olestra.
Oleander? Oh, Olestra. No, Olestra. Sorry, I was wrong. No, you're right. So Olestra is
it's the substitute oil to make it taste like it's like French fries. You know, the oil. You know, when you fry chips, you can fry stuff in Olestra, but it can cause explosive diarrhea.
That's what you want? That's what you want?
You know, I actually had that for a little while when I was taking melatonin. So speaking of which, guys, 5 milligrams a night is not a good thing to take of melatonin.
If you have your digestive tract.
Yes. And so around April, I started taking melatonin to help me sleep at night. And then a few weeks, I started to notice that I was waking up at 3 a.m. with explosive diarrhea. I thought I was going to like shoot off and be a rocket for NASA and everything, man. It was like in the middle of the night, in the morning, during the day. I'm like, my God. I went to the doctor. I called my doctor, and this in the middle of lockdown. I'm like, have I got the Rona? I'm like, do I have the Rona somehow? So I thought I might have that, and that wasn't it. Then I go to the doctor. They give me like gut exploding and antibacterials because they thought maybe it was a bacterial infection. Still had it, and I'm like, this is just great. And then I start going, could it be the melatonin? Don't figure this out for like 3 months. So 3 months later, come off the melatonin, and it stops within a week.
Wow.
Yeah.
I take melatonin occasionally, but I can tell you I have some weird dreams when I'm on it. And melatonin can cause nightmares. So if you tend to have nightmares, just be careful if you decide to take some melatonin.
Oh, I have sleep paralysis. So I already have weird dreams. So that's just regular for me. So that's just regular. I had a dream. I had my theme park dream again the other night. I was in a theme park. The theme park dreams are always fun. Either I'm trying to get to the theme park and it's a problem and I can't get there, or I'm at the theme park and they're about to close, or I'm like in a section of the theme park. It's weird. So every time I reach a point in my life where something new is happening or something's closing, I always have my theme park dream.
Interesting.
So maybe the election triggered the theme park dream.
Maybe. I would occasionally have dreams where I either am like, there's a giant wave coming to destroy the place, or I am falling out of a building. Those tend to be my recurring nightmares.
Oh, God, I hate those. I've learned how to fly in my dreams. And so if somebody's chasing me, I can just fly away. It's really great. I just have to run and I have to jump really hard, and then I start swimming. It's like I'm swimming in the air.
Nice.
Yeah, it works out pretty cool. And then if somebody's really not nice, then I dream in like a machine gun or something like that. It's
so
like,
you have lucid dreams?
I do. I tend to have lucid dreams, but
Nice.
when I don't, then it's a problem. And then I get the sleep paralysis, and then like my sleep paralysis demon standing there going, and I'm like, what? Are we dancing to Hamilton tunes tonight? So, what are we doing?
Hey, Stuttering Chris, how you going, mate? Good to see you, mate.
What's higher than Queens? Because you two are that, and we're talking about dreams. Aw, Stuttering Chris, yeah.
Chris has some of the coolest dreams.
I need to hear about Chris's dreams.
Chris has some pretty good dreams.
That's cool. Let's see. I actually have a commercial from our sponsor, from one of our sponsors. Yeah, I know. I hadn't had one of those commercials in a little while. And then I was like, I need to pull this up. So, guys, Karen is somebody that I know. And unfortunately, you know, I've had to like mute her on Facebook because she's one of those multi-level marketing people. And I think she's a bit of an anti-vaxxer. And it's, sorry. Wrong thing. Let me move this over here.
You always do that. That's like a thing.
It is a thing. It's a thing now, isn't it? It is a thing now. Okay, here we go. It jumped up on the wrong side. So let me pull it up this way. That's not what I wanted to do either. Guys, if you hadn't noticed, it's a Scientist Mel and Nervardia show, which means I have technical difficulties and push the wrong buttons.
Yeah, I mean, I can't do anything. It's just me. I just sit there and I'm like, at least I know I'm not the only one that has problems with OBS.
You know, I did have to restart my computer because it crashed and I had everything queued up and set up all pretty and stuff. And then it's just like, no.
No, you're not allowed that. No. How dare you? How dare you be organized? Damn it.
I know. My anxiety is just like not happy today. So, here we go. Check out
No pressure, Mel.
Let's watch this.
Hello, my name is Karen, and I want to give you an opportunity to join this awesome business that I've recently paid $100 to join. It's what we call a multi-level marketing type of thing. You know, what you do is you give me $100, and then I give you access to all kinds of products that you can sell. This particular company works in alternative medicines. It's called Cancer Working Out Options, or Cancer Woo. Isn't that nifty? So, we have all kinds of things like B17. We've got the supplies for Miracle Mineral Solution. We have access to coffee enemas. All kinds of amazing treatments for your cancer. So, for only $100, you can join the club and become a salesperson to work from home for Cancer Woo. All you have to do is dial 555-C-WOO. That's 555-C-WOO. And that will put you directly in line with me, and I can sign you up. Now, here's the other details. No particular medical training is required because none of these products have actually been, examined by the FDA. So we just sell them as supplements. So you don't have to worry about any of that. You can have Cancer Woo parties at your house. So invite everybody. Be certain to send out lots of Facebook invites because we know that's highly effective. Another trick is to be certain to get you a person, maybe like a chiropractor. I have a couple people that I know that kind of want to sell certain things like CBD oil and stuff, So go around to different chiropractor places. Don't worry about, don't go to oncologists. They'll kind of turn you away. So that wasn't a good experience. Anywho. So take control of your life and be your own boss. Be an armchair scientist if you want, even with no medical training whatsoever. And, sell supplements and recruit other people to sell stuff for you too. It's multi-level marketing, so be certain to get lots of people on your team. That'll be important. So, be you and sell Cancer Woo. 555 see woo.
Oh my god. Be you and sell cancer woo. Oh, I can't hear you now, Merro. I don't know what happened to your sound. I'm trying to see. Are you muted? I can't hear. Let me see. No, that's working. Unmute. I still can't hear you. Maybe try refreshing. It's all right. You can try refreshing. Okay. Hopefully everything will be okay. We'll see if she can come back in. I don't know what happened. Let's see what's going on. Let's try now.
Can you hear me?
Yes! Yay!
Yeah.
I don't know anymore. I don't pretend to understand most things.
Yeah, no, neither do I.
Oh,
so that was, I'm just saying, MLMs are genuinely the worst. Yeah, they're horrible. I used to work for one.
Oh, God. I kind of got into a little bit of that, but for a bit.
I'm glad that people are understanding what MLMs are now more. Like, there's more education around them, so I can see not many of them will be able to survive for much longer.
Oh my gosh, no. I mean, we have so many other, we have stores and local stores and you know, it's just, gosh, I can understand people wanting to, you know, trying to work from home and that sort of thing, particularly in this climate. And so that can be helpful there, but at the same time, you know, that requires you to recruit a lot of people to sell stuff. And if you recruit a lot of people, then you're not going to be selling stuff. You have to make them sell stuff, and they're all going to compete against each other. So it's not a good business model.
No, and something like 99.8% of people actually earn money. Don't earn money. Like,
right.
There's only like 0.2% of people in the company that earns money.
Wow.
All the rest either break even or don't make any money or lose money. Yeah. So
it's pretty awful. People are like, MLM, what is an MLM? Essentially, you pay your way into, you pay for an opportunity to sell a company's products. And usually you have to buy the products on the front end, and then you have to sell it. You know, and there are people who end up in a tremendous amount of debt because they cannot sell these products. So, yeah. It's pretty awful. And there are different versions of that. I don't know if Goop has anything like that. I was going to talk about Goop, and I'm going to show you something that's going to make you mad.
Okay, let's go into Goop. Let's spill some tea.
Let's
throw some shade.
Tea. Okay, so there was something for Goop. Let me pull this back up. So these, if you're curious, you're like, wow, Mel has all these slides. A lot of these slides are on my website, ScientistMel.com, because this happened to be from an earlier episode that I had of the science of where I was talking about this. So let me pull this up for you. And these are really old slides.
The sinister purpose, MLMs, like Mormonism, but without the magic underwear.
That's exactly true. It is like that. So here's something to make you mad. And I had changed these all better to other text and stuff. But Goop has an article called A Simple Cure for Autoimmune Disease.
Oh, fuck. I'm already angry.
And it's a question mark. Simple cure for autoimmune disease? Question mark. Boink.
No.
So
no, there's no simple cure for autoimmune disease. Just saying that.
So you can pull up, you can Google this. They still have that on their website. There's incorrect information in the article. This was part of a stream I did on how to detect pseudoscience. But I thought it was particularly apt here.
Yeah.
You can look, and so it's a Q&A session between a cardiac doctor, a cardiologist, and a person from Goop asking him questions. And by the way, he has an alternative medicine clinic that you can go to. He's a cardiologist. And
That's not Dr. Oz, is it?
No, might as well be. So one of the things that they talked about was there's bacterial and viral genes make up 99% of our combined genes. Yes, you are only 1% human by genetic count, 90% human by actual cell count. Everything that happens to us starts in the gut. Well, yes. So Nature debunked this myth in 2016. And you can click on, it's nature.com/news scientists bust myth that our bodies have more bacteria than human cells. This was debunked 4 years ago. But he's still perpetuating this old science. And he's pushing their line of supplements. He says, I've been using many of them in the lab intravenously to keep hearts alive for 48 hours for transplant, or to even bring dead hearts back to life after an hour in a dead body. I was giving these compounds intravenously, but it never occurred to me to swallow them. Why do you think that is?
Because the pharmacokinetics doesn't work the same in when you swallow versus intravenously.
That's exactly right.
Like, what? So pharmacokinetics is what the drug does to the body, and pharmacodynamics is what the body does to the drug. Is that correct, or am I the other way around?
I think that's correct.
I think it's correct, yeah.
So, and also, injecting it into your bloodstream versus taking it, they undergo different metabolics, different metabolism. So, IV meds have 100% bioavailability. You're bypassing the digestive system. You're bypassing a lot of the liver. You're bypassing a lot of things, and so it goes straight to your bloodstream. That's different. And if you're trying to keep a heart alive in a transplant, it doesn't have access to anything except what you give it. Right. And so you're going to give it the stuff it needs to sustain life until you can get it into the recipient. There's no journals article cited at all. And I'll pull up the website here in a bit and you can look for it yourself. And so this is what this says. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm just saying it's the same way that sometimes, like if you've had an accident or something and you're feeling nauseous, they give you like a little tablet to put on under your tongue. If you swallow it, it doesn't work as well because under the tongue, it goes straight into the bloodstream.
Right.
Yeah. And that's why some medications are given via suppository rather than via swallowing them. There's and then you've also got like intravenous, as you said, just goes straight to the bloodstream. And some drugs you can't take. Like you have to take intramuscularly, like insulin, because again, it goes straight into your bloodstream. So if you were to take a drug that you would normally take through a suppository orally, it won't work, or it will be greatly diminished.
Right.
So,
gosh, this was one of the questions that they asked the doctor on Goop. What are the biggest diet culprits / contributing factors? And this is what he said. Some of the biggest dietary pitfalls often involve eating so-called healthy foods that humans were never designed to eat. As hard as it is to believe, listen, plants do not want to be eaten. They were here first.
Explain fruit.
I know, right? They protect themselves and their seeds by putting proteins in their leaves and seeds called lectins. Gluten is
fruit.
I know, but fruit though. The whole purpose is to get birds to eat it and spread the seeds around, but whatever. Gluten is by far the most famous lectin, but what most people don't know is that it's quite a minor one, and that most gluten-free substitutes have far worse lectins. And then he says, half of my patients with autoimmune disease avoided gluten before seeing me, but did not fully improve until I removed other lectins from their diet. Quinoa, corn, beans, and nightshades like potatoes, tomatoes, peppers, and others are loaded with lectins. The CDC states that 20 to 30% of all cases of food poisoning in the U.S. occur from lectins in undercooked beans, plants. Plants simply do not want their seeds to be eaten. Cooking beans diminish the amount of lectin, though some remains. There's no stat that says that on the CDC, and 75% of food poisoning is from bacteria.
Bacteria do awful things to your gut. That's for true. That's for sure. When you're not supposed to eat them, as we were talking about H. pylori earlier.
Right, but it's just he's making up stats that aren't true. There's nothing. I couldn't find that stat on the CDC website. It's just nowhere.
Yeah,
but plants don't want to be eaten, though.
But apparently fruit is not a thing, or vegetables.
Okay. Yeah, whatever, man. So
I mean, I don't want to be eaten. Do I excrete, crap to stop people from eating me?
No, what I usually do is I just scream really loud and try to, deter them with my evil looks. I don't do so great with that. But I look like I'm in a really bad mood, and I have on headphones, and I put my keys between my fingers, and when I'm walking in my car, and I look like I'm just gonna, I get like a really angry look on my face, and then most of the time people leave me alone, and that's nice. But I think I'm gonna just keep the mask on forever and cough like I'm sick all the time, and then I think everybody will leave me alone. I think that's my go-to now.
Sounds good. That's good. Tony Design says, it's true that beans and all legumes contain large amounts of lectins and can be toxic if not brought up to temp.
Well, sure, but to say that beans don't want to be eaten because they have lectins is pretty stupid. I mean... Stuttering Chris did ask a question. Can you explain why alcohol gets you drunk? I've forgotten the reason why. A friend of mine did do metabolism, but this was like 2-3 years ago, so I can't remember why. But I think alcohol passes through cells a lot easier than water does because of its makeup.
It's makeup. It's physical. It's smaller, I think, is it? No, it's more.
Yeah, if you're talking about ethanol. It passes through,
smaller.
Huh?
It's not smaller. No, sorry.
No,
sorry.
you got 2 carbons in an OH group, and so it's a little bit bigger. It's bigger than a water molecule, but it can pass through pretty easily, and it can be.
It's very,
uptake.
very water soluble. It's very water soluble,
and it's one of those things that it doesn't have a solubility limit. Like after a while, if you keep adding salt to like a salt water solution or sugar to a sugar water solution, you're going to end up with a super saturated solution. It's going to start to form crystals at the bottom. This doesn't happen with alcohol in water. It just continuously, it will always mix. It doesn't form layers. They're both soluble within each other. I think miscible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it happily passes through the cell's outer membrane as well. Like the cell wall goes into the cell and starts wreaking havoc. It's actually very bad poison. It's very bad poison. I don't know what it does inside the cell, but I do know that ethanol, once it gets produced, gets processed by the body, it does produce a byproduct that inhibits the use of the production of ATP, which is the molecule that causes that's like the energy of your body. And if it inhibits that, you feel a bit like lethargic, and that if you don't have enough ATP running around, literally powering your cells. So a precursor to ATP is vitamin B. So a hangover cure, at least for the part where like you're feeling lethargic, is taking a vitamin B tablet or drinking some Barocca or something like that, and that'll perk you up.
Awesome. See, sometimes
Yeah.
supplements work, particularly if you had a night out.
Yeah. So it comes back around.
Hey, Doug
Yeah.
Vanderhoop, what's going on? What does want to be eaten? I don't know. There was like a really weird ad. I think it was in a German newspaper for a guy wanting to have a homosexual encounter and then wanted to eat the person afterwards. So there was a court, and the person responded, and the guy ate the other guy. That's kind of like women again.
Yay.
Okay, let me go back to here. All right, guys.
Okay. Are we back?
I think we're back. Buffering. I'm buffering again. Yes. I don't know. I guess I'm going to have to try. I'm going to have to try to fix OBS or something. Boy, whatever. Anyway, I wanted to show you some of the bad science of this cardiologist because he's crap.
Yeah,
all right.
That's generally how goop things go.
And so this was asked, which autoimmune diseases are the most responsive to diet changes? What do you recommend? Well, some autoimmune diseases are associated with the gut and have diet changes that help minimize symptoms. So that's a thing. But not all autoimmune diseases are that, you know?
No. Like celiac disease,
right.
Autoimmune disorder, stop eating wheat, you're good.
Right. That's fine. So he says, I have yet to see an autoimmune disease that cannot be cured or put into remission by simple dietary changes and supplementation. Okay. In October of 2016, I presented a paper at the Pasteur Institute in Paris showing 78 patients with autoimmune diseases like lupus, Crohn's, MS, rheumatoid arthritis, and colitis who were cured by these manipulations. Autoimmune disease comes from the gut and is cured in the gut. If you have an autoimmune disease, treat your gut and the disease, and he puts the disease in quotations, will subside. I looked for this paper. I can't find it. it. The guy's on Twitter. I asked him if I could see his paper. No response. I've looked at the Pasteur Institute for that particular convention. You only have access to the paper if you paid to go to that particular conference. And it's just not there at all. There's nothing there. I don't know what his methodology was. I don't know any of that. And so it's just, nope.
Well, one of the things that really annoys me about these sorts of things is it's like, okay, you have a disease. This is your fault. And it's sort of like, it's kind of victim blaming in the sense because they're like, oh, well, you should have taken better care of yourself. No, you have an autoimmune system. You had no choice. Mm-hmm. That's just it.
So why did I bring up all of this stuff? I kind of want to show you. Goop they have supplements. Okay, let me find them. And then I had cleaned this up before, but then I had to restart. That's normally where my picture would go because I used to put my little video right here on the green square. So there's a little bit of Scientist Mel stuff on my PowerPoint. My little video would pop up here on the green square or whatever, but it's fine. I messed up. So here, and you can go on scientistmel.com/resources and download the slides for this and take a look at all the citations and everything. So this particular, you can get supplements through Goop for $75 a month. Or you can pay $12 for 100 tablets at Walgreens.
Which is still a bit too much if you have a healthy diet.
Right. And the thing is the supplements, Okay, these are the supplements from Goop. The amount here, they've got them all listed. You can find the same supplements at Centrum Silver Women Plus 50 plus multivitamin tablets. They got all the same things. And it's $12. I mean, if you have a particularly malnourished type of diet, or if your doctor recommends that you take it, I mean, let's see. Yeah, I already mentioned that. If your doctor recommends that you take it, then that's fine. Use your vitamins if your doctor recommends. It's not necessary otherwise. But you can, like there is, like with Nervardia as mentioned, she's found the magnesium tablets helped her. There's some science for that, and if you're changing your diet and you're shifting to lower calorie diet, a lot of doctors recommend that you take a vitamin supplement to make certain you're reaching your nutritional needs. And to be quite honest, Americans tend to be malnourished because of their diet. So that's not necessarily a bad thing to take supplements.
If you also have gastric issues, you also might be a bit low on certain vitamins. If you have eating disorders, you also tend to be a bit low on vitamins. I did a video yonks ago on a eating disorder called ARFID, and this one person that talked about basically ARFID is just very, very restrictive food diet. So they would only be able to eat 5 things.
Right.
So there was a story of this kid in the UK who ended up getting a
Oh my gosh. Here we go again. Reload. I don't know what's happening. I have. You dropped out. Sorry.
Can anyone hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. It's fine.
Okay. Yeah, anyway, this kid ended up getting like, I can't remember the name of the disorder, but basically it was him not being able to he didn't have enough vitamins in his diet, and he ended up becoming blind and deaf from this. Wow. Yeah, because he had no vitamin A in his diet. So he ended up being very, 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 very sick, and it was a really sad story, because of this this eating disorder that he was under. It was undiagnosed.
I'm so sorry. That just sounds terrible.
Yeah. So a vitamin tablet would have been good for him. I'm assuming he would have been told to take it. I would hope so, if that was his doctor told him to do that. I would hope so. But yeah, he ended up going blind and deaf from this eating disorder. It's pretty awful.
That's terrible. There's also, a flip side to taking too many vitamins. You can actually get sick from taking too much. It can actually become toxic to you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Kidney, liver damage. Yeah. Urinary tract infections and stuff. So yeah, too much of a good thing, as we mentioned earlier.
Do you want to watch one more vintage commercial?
Why not?
We'll watch one more, and then I guess we can wrap it up, because we've been dropping in and out for an hour and a half.
While you're doing that, the Sinister Porpoise does go. There's a genetically modified strain of rice that has prevented many people in third world nations going blind, because the rice on its own does not produce vitamins A. So that's golden rice, and it produces beta carotenes, which are precursors to vitamin A, which you require if you want to have eyesight, because your body cannot produce. It's an essential vitamin. You need to eat it.
Yep.
So yeah.
Absolutely. So here we go.
What's the best way to reduce? Eat plenty or starve yourself? Starve yourself? Wrong. A half-empty stomach causes hunger tantrums. Now with the RDX full stomach reducing plan, you fill your stomach, avoid hunger tantrums, lose excess weight naturally and fast. And safe, pleasant-tasting RDX tablets contain no dangerous drugs, no hormones. So if your doctor has told you to lose weight, get RDX at your drugstore now.
Okay.
Lose ugly fat. That's beautiful.
And
I love
hunger, stomach tantrums.
I love that. Have you noticed there's one thing? There seems to be a running theme in all of the things that it's all aimed at women.
Yes. Hold on.
This
Here's another one. Here. Let's see. Maybe there's a guy in this one. Let's cross our fingers.
I would put money on it being it aimed at women.
This is
Here we go. Okay. Let's have a look here. All right.
This is Metrical, Dietary for weight control, to help you lose weight and avoid regaining it. This is frozen Metrical, a summer treat for dieters, prepared simply by putting regular Metrical liquid into your freezer overnight. Take it out half an hour before serving, and you have a cool, delicious change of pace for your diet. Freezing Metrical adds pleasing new variety to your diet. Each can of liquid makes an individual meal. Metrical helps you restrict calories while providing sound nutrition and appetite satisfaction. As your physician, your best source of counsel will tell you, overweight not only detracts from your appearance, but impairs health and shortens life. To lose weight and avoid regaining it, try Metrical soon, frozen or liquid. Metrical, the established dietary with clinically proven safety and effectiveness.
So there was a dude in that one.
But aimed at giving it to a woman.
Yes.
Oh, look at you doing the right thing by looking after your husband.
Yeah,
Emily
that's
is thinking
kind of
about
true.
taking a diet.
Sorry. So that there is truth to that. She's gone and she froze the Metrical for me because she knows how I like that Metrical. It's like she scooped it in there so nice, and since it's black and white, it looked like it was 3 different colors. I'm like, because there's darker portions and lighter portions and darker portions. I'm like, how many Metricals is in that one?
It was a lot of Metrical. But what's coming out with some of the scientific research into like obesity has been really, really interesting. Like, for example, people who used to be fairly obese and have shrunk in and lost the weight, their brain thinks that they're hungry, even though they've been off the weight for 15, 20 years. Their brain keeps sending out information to go, hey, you're starving, you need to give me more food. So then you've got interactions between the fat cells and ghrelin production, which is the hormone that ghrelin suppresses your appetite. Does it? No, can't remember.
I don't know right off.
Yeah, I can't remember right off. But ghrelin is a hormone that causes. I'm pretty sure it actually tells you that you want to eat. I think that sounds more like it. Hang on, I'll have to double check that.
Okay.
The hormone by enteroendocrine cells for the gastrointestinal tract, especially the stomach, is often called the hunger hormone because it increases food intake.
Okay.
Blood levels of ghrelin are highest before meals when hungry, returning to lower levels after mealtime. So people who have more fat cells tend to produce more ghrelin, which means that they eat more. So there's a lot of interesting research going into the science of weight loss, and it's becoming more and more obvious that people who like losing weight, for a lot of people, it can be very difficult because of hormonal interactions from fat cell, like your lipid cells, and hormones. There's also looking at how plastic can interact with our endocrine system. So endocrine disruptors that are within the body. So it's been very, very interesting to see what's coming up. And there's one thing that I've learned is that if you have difficulty losing weight, it's not your fault. It's your body. It keeps telling you what to do. And it's the same thing if you're trying to gain weight. Gaining weight for some people is extremely difficult.
Yeah.
So it works both ways.
Yeah.
It works both ways.
It's almost like sometimes your biology is just out to get you.
Yes, screw you.
I have no problem whatsoever putting on weight. None at all. My body likes to build stuff, and right now it's been building fat and not muscle. So I'm going to have to, we got to do, okay, it's November. We got to do our 30-day try of whatever or something, or 20, I don't know. We can try 2 weeks.
Wasn't it like 3 weeks ago? We're going to do it. And I think I've exercised twice since then. Because I think...
And now it's like you're getting into warmer area and it's starting to get cold here, and I'm like, I'm ready to hibernate.
Yeah.
There's
I'm coming out of hibernation, so I should be more enthusiastic. It just really hurts. It really, really hurts because I have this hip injury. Yeah. And even just doing light exercise for the next 3 days, I'm in absolute agony because of this goddamn hip injury, which is why I started taking magnesium, and that's why we had this conversation.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. Well, I guess we should wrap up before I drop off the internet again and destroy things. Do you want to tell everybody you got anything coming up soon?
Well, I took a 2-week hiatus from my channel, so I should be releasing an edited video this week with Godless Granny, who on bees.
Oh, that's cool. Yay for bees. Well, do check out her stuff. Her links are in the description. Her Patreon is there. Throw her some money. She needs a little bit of money. Just throw it. If you have like a little extra, I know we got a pandemic. Just throw a little money at her.
I am doing a what's it called? A fundraiser at the moment. I've got some things got my eye on. A green screen and a green holder and a new a new light and a new camera lens as well on the coming in. So hopefully that'll happen sometime soon. So I can start bringing in Godless Australian and who is my little devil person, and having like a 3-way conversation between me and me. So
that'll be fun.
I'm looking forward to it. I ended up buying like blue face paint so I can sort of like have like chroma key out some parts of my face and things like that.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna be fun.
I'll have to check that out. What you gonna put there instead?
Well, the joke is going to be that,
or is it going to spoil it? I don't want you to spoil it.
I think it might spoil. Spoil it. I'll let you... Okay. Oh.
Okay. Well, check out her chroma key face when that comes in. That'll be awesome.
That's going to be good.
Yes. I don't know what we're going to talk about next week. Hopefully we can get the time zones right, because I messed up this week and didn't do the time zones correctly. So, I can do the chemistry, but don't ask me to count GMT minus something or other.
I feel that.
So I'm like, why can't we all just have the same numbers? But then that doesn't work either. So
no,
none of this is working.
Yeah. It would make more sense. Like like get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Like, I've got to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and it's like 3 a.m. Like 2 p.m. my time or something like that. It's like
okay. So it's like almost 10 p.m. here. It's like 9:42.
It is 13:42. So
that's 1:42. Okay. So I think we'll be back next week at 6:30 Central, which would be, I think that's 9:30 a.m. for you.
10:30.
Okay.
Hopefully. We'll figure it out.
We'll sort it out. Yeah, we'll sort it out. Math.
Yeah. I often say there is a reason why they asked me to teach you chemistry and not maths.
Yeah, I have Excel to do my graphs for me. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's completely fine. It's fine. Yes, okay. Oh, goodness. I don't know what I'm doing next Saturday, but next Sunday, I guess we'll figure out. We need to figure out what topics we want to do. So if you have any ideas for topics, I found something called iridology, and I think that might be interesting, where people look at your eyeballs and try to figure out what diseases you have.
Yes.
And I've heard of that. A thing. That's a bit weird.
Yeah. There's lots of weird things, like also the same with your face, like the skin on your face and stuff. And if you tend to get pimples here, it's not because you like fall asleep like that. No, it means that your liver's out or something.
Oh gosh. And Jeff Holiday has still agreed to be on the show. I'm trying to work out a date when he'll be on, so that'll be fun. Jeff Holiday's nice. I'm gonna see if Miles Power come back on too. He was a lot of fun last time he was on my channel. He's a UK guy. He's a chemist.
And also Almost Your Doctor said he wants to come on.
Yes, we need to bring him on. So there's a few people. Maybe I can like drop Peasy Myers a line and we can talk a bit and just have a little chat. He's a lot of fun. Well, any last thoughts on supplements before we go or anything? Or
don't trust anyone when it comes to supplements.
Except your doctor.
Except your doctor, yeah. Don't go out and just randomly buy supplements. It's not a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, and and if you feel like you need supplements, you don't have to pay $75 a month to be part of a plan or something. Just get you some at Walgreens or your local grocery store. Just, you don't have to spend and it's not as cool as like, ooh, I got something from Goop. You're just tossing your money away and all the rich people are making fun of you. I mean,
pretty much.
That's what you're doing. Okay. Well, I guess we'll see you guys next week. Have a super awesome week, and we'll see you next Sunday.
Bye.
Bye.